Today I'm going to be looking at FIBA Asia's ranking, fan voting for the best player of the Asia Cup Qualifier tournament. Starting off, it obviously has one of the Asia basketball's legends, Wael Araji, which I'm sure that we're going to see really high up on this list. So first off is a bit of a surprise, and definitely when I saw it at first, I was pleasantly surprised to see Myron Gordon number one on this list with 26,000 votes, which is huge, and was instrumental for Syria qualify for the tournament. They had two really influential games, one against Bahrain and one against the UAE, which allowed them to sneak in and qualify for the Asia Cup. Myron had huge games in both of the games he played in, averaging 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. While this might be a surprise for a lot of people outside of the GCC, for me as a fan of the UAE Basketball League, this is not a big surprise. In my opinion, he's probably the best pure scorer in the UAE Basketball League, but in tournaments like this, he definitely shows that he can rebound, he can assist, he can defend, he can do everything you need him to do, and he stepped up, which congrats to him, and congrats to Syria. There's a lot of great momentum for them in basketball right now. And going to the second player, it's Mohamed Amini from Iran. 16 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 1.6 steals, and 66% from behind the three-point line. Very impressive stats. Another instrumental piece to getting Iran to qualify for the tournament. They did not have an easy schedule or an easy group that they were in, so it was great to see him perform, and obviously the fans loved it. 20,000 votes to put him into second place. He definitely deserved it. So congratulations to him and Iran for qualifying. At 3, a familiar face, I think, for everyone who is a fan of Asia basketball. Wael Araji played in all 6 games across the 3 windows. 20 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 58% shooting. Great stats. Not a surprise that he's on this list. A little surprising he isn't a little higher considering his reputation, what he does every single day, what he does on the court, especially on such a stacked Lebanese roster. So 2,200 votes, that was the only thing that surprised me, that he didn't get more votes, but nonetheless, a legend, a living legend, definitely deserves to be on this list. Tyler Harris, another great player coming out of Qatar, playing for Qatar's team. 17 points, 9.5 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 60% from the field. Qatar was definitely a surprise, but a dark horse for a lot of people that have been seeing them play lately. Doha International Basketball Championship, the performance in the GBA, the Gulf Basketball Association's Men's National Cup within the last year, their performance against Bahrain before Bahrain won the tournament. Qatar has really been amping up their production and also their abilities for them hosting in 2027 the FIBA World Cup. So in the same vein, it's not surprising for me to see Tyler Harris, great player when he's on the court, puts up great numbers and has great production. Arslan Kazemi is definitely a legend in the Iranian basketball scene. Being drafted by the Washington Wizards in the second round, playing for Oregon and Rice in the NCAA. He is definitely a fan favorite and deserves every single vote that he got. So if you're familiar with Iranian basketball or even Asia basketball, West Asia basketball for that matter, Arslan Kazemi is not a surprise. So he definitely deserves to be up here. Mustafa Fouda, another great player coming out of Qatar. Throughout 6 games, about 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. In this tournament, they're definitely passing the ball a lot more. If you watch him on Al Arabi or when he was playing for Al Sadd in the Amir Cup in Qatar, you can definitely see that he's facilitating the game a little bit more, allowing for his teammates to get easy baskets, playing team basketball. So glad to see Mustafa up here at number 6. Sergio Darwish. Of course, everyone knows Sergio Darwish in the Lebanese basketball scene, so seeing him at 7 is not surprising. 10 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 51% from the field. Fantastic. The Lebanese roster is just stacked this year with all sorts of legends playing across the Lebanese basketball league and abroad. So Justin Brownlee, a little surprised to see him this low on the list considering his reputation, also his production this year. 6 games throughout the 3 windows, 22 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 50-50, more than 50% from the field and from behind the 3-point line. So very impressive stat line. Justin Brownlee, a good pick to be on this list. And then his teammate for the Gilas Pilipinas, Kai Soto, only played in 4 games as opposed to all 6, but 15.5 points, 12 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 2.3 blocks per game. Definitely a great player, and glad to see him representing the Philippines this tournament. And at 10, Mohamed Bilal Atle. Through 6 games, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists. If I'm honest, I'm not too familiar with Mr. Mohamed's production, but I did watch him during the 3rd window against the UAE and Bahrain, and definitely did see him play quite well, supporting Myron and the rest of the Syrian roster. So happy to see some more Syrian representation in the top 10. And now after the top 10, I'm just going to skim through the rest of the list to see if there are any players that should have been noted or maybe happy to see them higher up. So DeMarco Dickerson, UAE legend, played 4 games, unfortunately got sick in the first window, I believe the second window, so he had to miss two games. But regardless, 18 points, 7.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2.5 steals per game. Great production and a great asset to the UAE basketball scene. Happy to see him on the court. Fadi Ibrahim, great player representing Jordan. Ahmed Douari played 5 games while playing for Dubai Basketball Club here in Dubai in the Adriatic Basketball Association. 14 and 11, 3 assists, 1.2 steals and blocks. Mamadou Ndaye, I always am glad to see some more UAE representation. 11 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1 assist per game. From Bahrain, Ahmed Haji, 21 points, 3 assists, 58% from behind the 3-point line. That is incredible. It is a bit surprising for me to see Mohamed Al Suwailim at 20, such an incredible player and representing Saudi in such a big way, not only in his stats but also his stature. 13 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks per game, shooting 64% from the field. Mohamed Al Suwailim is a massive player. I believe he's about 7 feet tall or 210 centimeters tall. So really impacts the game in a great way. And I'm excited to see him show out in his home country this summer in Jeddah. Another surprising player for me was Chris Golding. 29 points, 9.5 3-pointers made per game across 2 games. That's very impressive. Happy to see him here at 21. Looking forward to seeing him play in the tournament this summer. Wayne Chisholm, a Bahraini legend. Brian Hallams, want to give some respect to him. Playing for Palestine, 26 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a half per game, really representing the country well. It's a shame they didn't qualify. And a lot of other great players. I could go on forever talking about every single player and how they played, where they should be ranked, but I think I would have loved to see Hamid Abdul-Latif Al-Breiki get a little bit more recognition, considering his game against Lebanon. Doesn't look like he made it onto the list, but considering his big game against Lebanon that the UAE almost got a win out of, but fell, I believe, 3 points short, would have been great to see him there. But there are only so many slots, so I understand it at the same time. Yeah, so that's the whole list. I think there's a lot of great players on here. A lot of players that aren't surprising to see as well, and congratulations to all the teams that made it. If you had any comments about what players should have been on or should not have been on, let me know what you think, and also let me know what you think about the rankings. Or some players ranked too high, too low, or some players that you liked not ranked at all. Also, what do you think about FIBA putting out these kinds of polls for fans to vote? I think it's a great thing for Asia Basket, and I look forward to seeing some more and reviewing some more. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share with your friends, and thanks for watching.